This is Between the Lines. Today, we dissect the road less traveled.
Hi, hello again. We are now finally finishing discipline from the road less traveled. So next time we talk, next Sunday, it will be the new section, which is called Love. And just to recap a little bit, we have been talking a lot about discipline and what are the main techniques for coping with suffering during our periods of growing and problem solving. And now we are going to just give the little last brush into this, and we are going to talk about the chapter 14, which is called renunciation and rebirth. So in the past we have talked about letting go part of ourselves. We have to let things or our old self die in order for the new self to grow and to rebirth, or us to rebirth, or us to be brought back to life with a new and improved self. And this moment is not just this passage, we could say, is a process. It's not that I just now finished doing something or let go this and immediately I just come back as a new different person. It's not that the transformation happens overnight, but it takes the time. For some people it could be less, for others it could be longer. It depends on the situation and the person and how difficult the process is for everyone. So during this period, that is what the doctor calls bracketing. And this bracketing is this period that we have between the death of the old self and the birth of the new self. And he actually takes this term from another psychologist or psychiatry, I don't remember, called Summig, because he mentioned, and the doctor here also takes a copy of another book where Summig is telling how he sees this bracketing process. So it requires awareness of during the whole process. So sometimes if you are suffering a lot, even though we are using these techniques in order to cope with that suffering for us to grow, this requires your full awareness and to be fully conscious during the process in order to really understand what you are giving up and what you are gaining from that. Because sometimes we also think that, oh, but if I'm letting die some part of me, especially as we Westerners, the doctor also says, we tend to think that death is unacceptable. But he calls it the secret ingredient of life. Because we die many times in our lives, or let die things in our life many times from us, from ourselves, sometimes consciously and sometimes unconsciously, but it actually is what helps us grow. We are like living our part of ourselves. Like, well, while I was rereading this, I remember about Lord of the Rings when Gandalf the Grey, the magician, his first Gandalf the Great, he dies and then he comes back as Gandalf the White, like an improved version of himself and more powerful and that kind of things. So this transition is what he calls bracketing. And this period where we have to be super disciplined, I say super disciplined, where we have to be disciplined and use these techniques of discipline in order to grow. This period of time is always fueled by love, which is the next section of the book. So next Sunday we will be talking about love. And even though the chapter is quite long, actually, because the doctor recaps everything and also mentions things from the past in a different way. Maybe he mentions again some extracts from Sam Kim's words and some stories, but basically it's about this, about bracketing and closing this idea of discipline. I mean, we will be talking again about discipline, but not in the same profound way, like everything that the doctor has put into with the techniques for coping with suffering, which are delaying gratification, as we have also seen. Sorry. So he talks about delaying gratification, acceptance of responsibility, dedication to truth, and balancing. Those are the 4 specific techniques for suffering that he uses here in this book. And that is discipline. So I don't want to make it too much longer because I don't think it's necessary. We have been talking a lot about all the things and each one specifically. So if you want to sum it up in a way that's useful for you and you want to comment that, that's super appreciated and welcomed in the channel. But next Sunday we will see each other, and this will be about love, which is a topic that I really love from this book, because we tend to think about love. I would say, I don't know specifically about you, but I would say that we have a misconception of love and what love really is in our lives. And maybe even discover if there are different types of love. And we will talk a lot about love from next Sunday on. So have a great week and see you soon. Bye bye.
Stay tuned for Uluwa's next episode.